Every hero is only as great as the villains who test them. And for Superman, those villains are unmatched. From twisted geniuses to cosmic destroyers, each one forces the Man of Steel to prove that power alone isn't what makes him a hero. So, let's dive into the top 10 greatest Superman villains, ranked from the cunning to the catastrophic, and see which of them truly pushed the Last Son of Krypton to his absolute limit. No one has ever come closer to breaking Superman without lifting a single finger than Lex Luthor. He's proof that the deadliest weapon against a god isn't kryptonite, it's intellect. While Superman embodies hope, Lex embodies ego, the belief that humanity doesn't need a savior, especially one not born on Earth. To Lex, Superman isn't a hero, he's a threat, an alien standing between mankind and its own greatness. Armed with genius-level intelligence, limitless wealth, and an obsession bordering on divine hatred, Luthor wages psychological warfare instead of physical. He builds machines that can crush mountains, manipulates governments, and turns the world against Superman with a few words. It's not about killing the Man of Steel. It's about proving he never should have existed. And that's what makes Lex terrifying. He's right there among us, a human who can bring gods to their knees. Every victory Superman earns comes with the haunting reminder that his greatest enemy doesn't need powers to win, just conviction. But while Lex wages his war with words and machines, the next villain on our list takes a far more brutal route. A man built not from pride, but from cold metal and vengeance. There's something far more terrifying than a man made of steel. A man powered by the one thing that can kill him. Metallo isn't just a villain, he's Superman's walking nightmare. Once an ordinary soldier, John Corbin's shattered body was rebuilt into a machine fueled by kryptonite, the very heart of Superman's weakness beating inside his chest. Every punch he throws poisons the air around him, every heartbeat radiates death. Superman can't even get close without feeling his strength drain away, his invincibility peeling apart piece by piece. Metallo doesn't just fight him, he suffocates him. His metal frame can tank blows that level buildings, and his core emits energy powerful enough to melt steel and scorch worlds. But what makes Metallo truly tragic is that there's still a fragment of the man he once was, buried under circuitry and hate, cursed to live as both victim and monster. He's not chasing power. He's chasing purpose in a body that's no longer his. And as Superman struggles to face the man who's literally built to destroy him, a darker force waits, one that doesn't just drain his power, but his very life essence itself. He doesn't need strength, speed, or weapons, he steals them. Parasite is the kind of villain that makes even Superman hesitate, because one touch is all it takes to turn the Man of Steel into the weakest man alive. Once a desperate man named Rudy Jones, a freak accident transformed him into something far worse, a creature cursed with endless hunger. He feeds on energy, life, and power itself. When he faces Superman, every blow only makes him stronger. Every second drains the Kryptonian dry. Imagine watching your greatest gift, your power, your purpose, being devoured right before your eyes. That's what Superman endures every time he faces Parasite. But what makes him so haunting isn't just what he takes, it's what he becomes. Every victim, every soul he drains, stays trapped inside him, their voices echoing in his mind until he can't tell who he is anymore. He's both predator and prisoner, doomed to consume just to survive. And if Parasite represents Superman's nightmare of helplessness, the next villain on our list is something even crueler, a twisted reflection of the Man of Steel himself, born not from hatred, but from a broken mirror of perfection. He looks like Superman. He has Superman's strength, but everything about him is wrong. Bizarro is what happens when science tries to copy perfection and ends up creating tragedy. Born from a failed experiment to duplicate the Man of Steel, Bizarro is a distorted reflection of everything Superman stands for. His world is backward, his logic reversed. He says hello when he means goodbye, saves lives by accident, and destroys cities trying to help. But behind that confusion is heartbreak. He wants to be Superman. He wants to be loved, admired, and understood. But the world only fears him. Every act of kindness turns into chaos. Every attempt at heroism ends in pain. Superman doesn't see Bizarro as an enemy. He sees him as a mirror of loneliness, a reminder that even gods can't fix what's broken by imitation. Bizarro's greatest strength is also his curse. He will never understand why his version of good always turns out bad. And while Bizarro shows us a distorted Superman, our next villain takes that corruption even further. A man who didn't just lose his humanity, but willingly replaced it with machine and malice. Once he was a hero. Now he's the ghost of one, rebuilt from rage, metal, and the desire for vengeance. Cyborg Superman, also known as Hank Henshaw, isn't just a villain. He's a living nightmare born from Superman's greatest failure. After a tragic space mission gone wrong, Henshaw watched his crew and his own body die in agony. But his mind survived, twisted by grief and hatred. He blamed Superman for not saving them, for standing by while everything he loved was destroyed. When Henshaw returned, half machine and half corpse, he didn't come for justice. He came for revenge. Merging Kryptonian technology with his cybernetic body, Cyborg Superman gained near-limitless power, flight, energy projection, super strength, and the ability to command machines across galaxies. But what makes him terrifying isn't his strength. It's his obsession. He doesn't want to kill Superman. He wants to ruin him, to make the world hate the very man it once worshipped. And for a time, he succeeded, posing as the real Superman during the hero's death, only to reveal himself as a monster fueled by hate. But if you think Cyborg Superman is terrifying, wait until you meet the next foe, a conqueror who doesn't just destroy lives, he conquers worlds. He doesn't want to save the world, he wants to own it. Mongol is domination incarnate, a cosmic tyrant who commands War-World, a planet-sized weapon where he forces others to fight for his amusement. Unlike most of Superman's enemies, Mongol isn't driven by revenge or ideology, only by the thrill of crushing hope. His strength rivals the Man of Steel's, and his cruelty makes him even more dangerous. One of his most chilling attacks came with the alien plant Black Mercy, trapping Superman in a dream where Krypton never exploded, forcing him to tear himself from a perfect life just to face the truth. For Mongol, mercy is weakness, and compassion is a flaw to be punished. He doesn't just fight Superman's body, he wages war on his heart. But while Mongol rules through brute power, our next villain fights with something far more personal: the vengeance of a fallen Kryptonian who believes he should have been Earth's savior. He is everything Superman might have become if Krypton's ideals had taken a darker path. General Zod isn't just a villain, he's a soldier, a patriot, and a fanatic who believes the survival of his people justifies any atrocity. Born of Krypton, Zod possesses the same powers as Superman under Earth's yellow sun: strength that can topple buildings, speed that defies the eye, and heat vision capable of incinerating steel. But it is his mind, a brilliant tactician fused with ruthless discipline, that makes him truly deadly. Every attack is calculated, every plan meticulously executed, leaving Superman to fight not just fists, but strategy itself. Zod's obsession isn't conquest for pleasure, it is the restoration of Krypton at any cost. Cities burn, innocents die, and yet he remains unwavering, convinced his vision is justice. Confronting him is more than a battle. It is a clash of ideologies, a test of Superman's will against the shadow of his homeworld. And if Zod embodies Krypton's pride, our next villain embodies its intellect, a being whose brilliance and cruelty span not just a planet, but the entire universe itself. Some villains destroy cities, some destroy worlds. Brainiac destroys everything you love with cold precision. Every civilization becomes a data point, every city a collectible for his endless archive. Kandor, Metropolis, countless worlds, all trophies in his metallic grasp. His power isn't just strength or tech, it's obsession. He predicts, calculates, and strikes with a ruthlessness that even Superman struggles to match. Every fight is a battle of wit, will, and survival. And while Brainiac rules with intellect, the next villain embodies raw, unstoppable rage, a force that can tear through anything in his path. He is chaos made flesh, a force of nature that exists for one purpose: destruction. Doomsday doesn't plan, he doesn't reason, and he doesn't hesitate. Every step he takes shakes the ground, every strike shatters buildings, and every encounter leaves cities in ruins. Born on a Kryptonian world long before Superman, Doomsday was engineered by pain and survival, evolving through death after death until nothing could stop him. He adapts, he heals, and he grows stronger with every battle, a nightmare designed to end Kryptonians. Superman learned this the hard way when Doomsday rose from the ashes and forced him into the fight of his life, a battle that ended with both of them falling, bloodied, and broken. But what makes Doomsday terrifying isn't just his strength, it's his relentlessness. He doesn't stop. He doesn't relent. He embodies every fear Superman has ever faced. The idea that no matter how powerful you are, some forces cannot be reasoned with or contained. And if Doomsday is the ultimate test of Superman's strength, the next villain is the ultimate test of his very existence. A god among villains whose name alone casts fear across the universe. He is more than a villain. He is the embodiment of tyranny, a god whose mere presence bends worlds to his will. Darkseid doesn't fight for revenge, for conquest, or for power. He fights for control. His goal is simple, terrifying, and absolute: to crush all free will and remake the universe in his image. Ruler of Apocalypse, Darkseid commands armies that span galaxies and wields the Omega Effect, a power so devastating that a single blast can erase life, crush matter, and warp reality itself. Even Superman, with all his strength, speed, and courage, can only hope to survive an encounter, never truly defeat the Lord of Despair. What makes Darkseid the ultimate threat isn't just his power, it's his patience, his intellect, and his vision. He waits, plans, and strikes when the moment is perfect, ensuring that every victory is complete and every defeat is final. He is a shadow over the universe, a nightmare that even gods fear to challenge. And so, from the genius of Lex Luthor to the godlike might of Darkseid, these are the villains who have defined Superman's greatest battles, each one a mirror reflecting the limits of power, the cost of hope, and the stakes of being Earth's greatest hero. And there you have it, 10 villains who have pushed Superman to his absolute limits, from brilliant minds to unstoppable monsters and godlike tyrants. Each one tests not just his strength, but his heart, his resolve, and his very purpose. Which of these foes do you think posed the greatest threat to the Man of Steel? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a journey into the world of comics and the battles that define our heroes.